We'll talk about how many drafts go into writing a good book on the other side of the intro. Hi, I'm John Gilstrap, author of the Jonathan Grave thriller series, and beginning in February of 2021, the Victoria Emerson thriller series. And what we're going to talk about today is how many drafts should a book go through in order for it to be publishable. More specifically, obviously I can't speak to you, but I can speak to me. How many drafts do I go through? I've got two answers to that, actually, and both of them are equally true on every book. One answer is I do 2 drafts. The other answer is I do 40 or 50 drafts. So here's how I do it. And keep this in mind. One of the problems of writing a book, particularly for the inexperienced writer, is you get into the writing editing loop. You write something today and you move on, and then you go back and you read it, and you never get past chapter 1. You keep churning and rewriting and rewriting and rewriting, and the book never stops. There are a lot of writing instructors that are out there that tell you just to never look back, plow forward, go all the way through the end of the book, and then go back and rewrite. I'm not one of those guys. That's not how I do it at all. How I do it is I start every writing session by rewriting what I wrote the previous session. So when I get to my office, I sit down at 10, 11 in the morning. The very first thing I do after I catch up on emails and all the administrivia that goes into anybody's business life, first thing I do is read what I wrote yesterday and then rewrite it, make it good, make the prose good. And then I guarantee myself at least 1,000 words at the end of that. So every day I do at least 1,000 words. As I get to the end of a book, as the deadline is approaching, that 1,000 words may grow to 2,500 or 3,500 words. It depends on how big the panic mode is when I get there. But what that does, it allows me to always be fully aware of what I've done with the story. Now, I don't go back to the beginning. When I'm on page 200, I don't go back and read page 1 before I write page 201. I literally read what I wrote the day before, or maybe 2 days before if there's some question. But what it does, it helps with writer's block too, because you're always dialed into your story as you move ahead. If I get to a point where I realize I've made a mistake, or if I realize I need something else, if I need to have, a character needs to have fighting skills in chapter 14, then I might have to go all the way back to chapter 3 when we first see the character and kind of drop that in so that it resonates with the reader when they get there. Similarly, if I got a house that's only one story and then I think later chapters, while I really need to have a second story, I will go back and insert the second story. So at any given point in time for me, I am always current with the current draft is always current with the ongoing story. So because of this 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of approach, or I guess it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of approach, by the time I get to the end of the book, by the time I type the words "the end," and yes, I do type "the end," it always gets crossed out, but it's kind of an emotional experience to finally be done with the thing. By the time I type "the end," I really only have to edit the next day, I edit what I wrote that day, and then it's 1 front to back polish. So I can really, if I have a September 15th deadline, I always have a September 15th deadline, then as long as I finish the book, if I can type "the end" by September 5th or so, maybe 7th, then I will be able to meet the deadline. So it's really, how many drafts are necessary? The number of drafts to make the story right. The one thing you never want to do is to squander drama. I've said this before. You want to make sure that you squeeze every bit of emotion and every bit of drama out of every scene as you possibly can. But always remember to add 1,000 words at least, or whatever the number is. If you don't have time to do 1,000 words, then 100 words. Whatever's the number that works for you. Just make sure that you're always progressing day to day, session to session. You're always progressing the book. And once you're in the middle of the book, once you're writing, keep going. Don't stop. You know, even if you stop loving the book, and you will, I've done a video on the muddled middle is what I call it, keep pushing forward and you'll rediscover the book again. So how many drafts? Either 2 or a lot. So that's it. Please subscribe to my channel if you like these videos. And even if you don't, please take care. Please keep reading. I'm John Gilstrap.